Greetings, everyone. I'm Scott Rodell here at the Academy of Chinese Swordsmanship, and this is lesson 5 in our work on this Yangjia Michuan Taiji spear form. If you're just catching us on here, if you just stumbled onto this video, you can pick up here with lesson 5. The form is quite long. It takes a lot of space to move around in. So if you haven't got a big indoor space or a place where you can practice outside, many people often break it up and just practice the pieces and don't always put it together into form. And that's quite a useful way to practice it. However, I would recommend that if you want to start with this last part that includes the striking and sweeping and those kinds of movements, that you do go back and watch lesson 4 first, because we do some work to prepare for this section. But in any case, I hope you do make this part of your training, because it's a great tool for improving your strength, for practicing your Fajing, and really developing your endurance, your stamina. So let's start off with a look at the piece that we're going to be working on today. If you've been following along in the form, of course, I've just moved to the rear here as I pulled back with the Kai-Ho Fa movements. From here, I'm going to thrust forward, go up, protect over the head, strike to the side, sweep, hit down, and come back to that position. Now, if I've done 3 steps forward, 3 steps back, etc., as we have been through this program, I'll again do 3 reps of this section. So that was rep 1. This is rep 2. So thrust, down, protect over the head, hit to the side, sweep, back, hit again, and one more. 1, 2, up over the head, strike, sweep, hit down, and back to the ready. From here now, you're going to finish with 9 times rooster nods its head. And that is basically the Kai-Ho movements 9 times. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And we're back to that ready position. Now from here, if you've got the high ceiling that I've got, or if you're outside training, you can simply turn out on that rear toe, bring the spear up, and set it down next to you. And that's the end of the form. And of course, you just switch sides to do the other side. If you haven't got the high ceilings that I've got, then when you finish that last movement, you can thrust forward and simply lower the spear back down. This is a nice way to do it. Change the position of your hands and start on the other side. Really should make sure that you're training both sides equally. Now let's break down and look at these movements. Now, first movement, that squat down with a tiao upward. I don't think there's any real function to that move. Yes, you can flick up with some power. That's actually more of a strengthening, stretching kind of move in the form. I wouldn't say there's any martial function for that, but the next movement absolutely has function. So let's look at those first 2. I've just moved to the rear here. I'm going to thrust off my front leg, boom, and then I'm squatting down, boom, and then I'm up over my head this way. Now for this movement, we really want to pay attention to the arm position. See here as I am, like this. I want my front arm to be slightly angled up, my rear arm also upward, not to the rear, not too far like this, where it's close to my head. Obviously, I'm using this movement to protect from a blow from above, so I don't want it too close to my head, because it's probably going to give a little bit if I'm struck with a very heavy weapon. So I want to keep that angled up. My front elbow is slightly bent here, slightly crooked. Same with the rear. Don't lock them out hard like this. Keep them a little bit springy. I've got my fingers open here. I don't want them around the shaft, because again, I'm protecting myself from an upward blow, a downward blow, I should say, coming from above me. So I have my hand open here. So if you look at that again, I was in my ready position here, and I thrust, I come down and up over the head this way. And you see how that hand is, that front arm is just off the horizontal, slightly upward, elbow bent. Look at it on the side angle here. I'm in a thrust, I squat down and up over my head. And as you see, as I do that, I'm going to step back to the rear. I'm going to switch up to the shorter spear here, because so we can look at it on the profile view. I really suggest that if you're really training this, you're going to really want to get several weapons like this at different lengths, so that you can do it for one, inside and outside. Some movements, I've had many students say, when they're practicing with a long spear, sometimes they're standing in one room and the tip of the spear is in the other room. So when you're doing the Kai-Ho Fa movements that we covered in the first 3 lessons, you sometimes have to do it in a hallway or something like that. Really helps to develop the power. But for other movements like this, where it's sweeping around a lot, you want something a little bit shorter. So shop around, find yourself a couple of options. From here, after I thrust and I go up, then I'm here like this, protecting myself from above. And you see the angle of my arm. Very common for this arm. Common error, I say, it's a little bit low like this. Sometimes it's tilted forward this way. And then what happens when you receive that powerful downward blow is it tends to break. Sometimes it hits you in the head. And of course, your Duifang could take advantage of that. So if we were here on the form and we were moving back, Kai, Ho, Fa, then it's down and up over the head. Our next movement is going to circle around and strike with the tip of the spear. Again, we just take those few movements. If I were moving to the rear as I were completing the form, it'd be that Kai, Ho, Fa from the rear leg, right? And then Kai, Ho, Fa from the front leg, down, up over the head, circle around, strike with the tip. Okay, and you see as I did that, of course, my leg slipped to the rear. So I have my right foot to the rear as I'm doing the form, my left foot slipping back. Let's look at that again. So let's just take off that little bit of overlap from the previous lessons. It's going to be Kai, Ho, Fa, and then Kai, Ho, Fa, moving forward, down, up over the head, small circle there, and strike with the tip. One more time, let's see it right on profile here. I'll have to just go to the thrust with the front leg so I don't hit the wall or run out of space. So I thrust forward, drop down, protect over the head, strike to the chest. My next movement now, the blade's going to come down and sweep across. So it's not circular so much, drops down and sweeps across. And as I do, see how I brought my foot up there. Let's look at it on the profile again here. So we're here, and I'm going to thrust. You see why I don't want to use my longest spear here. I drop down, up over the head. Notice the position of my arms. This one's nearly vertical. Sweep around, strike with the tip, circle around, and pull up. I sweep across. All right? Look at it from the front angle here. Again, so I'm now thrust, down, protect over the head, strike with the tip, and sweep across. From here now, I'm going to come back around to hit on top. So I'm coming around and hit. Now you notice as I did that, I moved this foot. So my right foot here, it's not really moving so much. My left foot's sweeping back and forth in concert with the movement of the spear. Again, so we're here, ready, and I'm going to thrust forward off my front leg, thrust in, down, up over the head, hit to the side, sweep, hit down. So as I brought my spear around for that hit down, I also stepped my left foot back in position, and you notice that position has this getaway room. I don't want to hear if there's another spearman, he's going to aim at my leg. That thigh is a really good target. The foot's a target. I want to be able to pull that back without bumping into myself. All right, one more time from this angle. So let's thrust, squat down, up over the head, strike, sweep, hit down. And then it's back to ready. Okay, and from the other view here, again, nice and springy. When we're in this position, hard to see on camera sometimes, but my front heel is up. That keeps my foot, keeps my leg bent, a little bend in the knee, keeps it a little springier. Put that heel down. My knee isn't locked, but it's getting kind of close to straight, too close to a locked position for comfort. Could accidentally lock. Keep that heel up, keeps that knee bent. So from my ready position, having moved to the rear here, I'm thrusting forward off my front leg, so I'm going to switch that. Boom, switch into that front leg, thrust off the front, squat down, up over the head, hit to the side, sweep, hit down, and ready. And as I said, so if you've been following from the beginning, we did 3 in place, then 3 steps forward, 1 in place, 3 steps back, and then this section of the form. You can do any number of repetitions. I'm doing 3 because that's what I can just, with the shorter spear, just what I can fit in here. But Typically, if I could be out in the garden, I'm doing 5 or 7 steps, depending on the length of the spear I have, how heavy the spear is. A little heavier one, I might do a few less, of course. Lighter one, a few more. All right, so let's take a look. Let's see if we can put it together again with the last of those 3 steps back. So we're doing kai ho fa, kai ho fa, kai ho fa. Stepping back, we're starting with that last one. So from here, it's going to be kai ho fa from the rear leg, then kai ho fa from the front leg, down, up over the head, hit, sweep, down, and ready. And 3 times with 3 steps back. So 3 reps of this section. So 1, boom, boom, hit, sweep, hit down, ready. And 1 more, boom, 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 hit, sweep, hit down, and ready. So that's 3 reps. Now we have the 9 times rooster nods his head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Back to ready. Turn on that toe. This is a shorter spear, so I can easily fit it here. Turn out on that toe, bring it up, drawing the feet together, and back by the side. And then you switch to the other side. Okay? When you're practicing the 9 times rooster nods his head, it's the same as where we're doing the kai ho fa movements going forward. As I open up here, the shaft of the spear is just a fist distance from my chest. Many times people just don't go so far. It's like this, quite a distance. As you spiral up to here and you spiral down, same as before, your hand's right at the end of the spear, and that goes to your hip. Arms are always slightly bent, and the front heel's up, coccyx dropped. Let's take a look at it from the other side. We'll start with the kai ho fa moving to the rear, kai ho fa, then kai ho fa forward, down, up, hit, sweep, hit down, ready, and 3 times. Boom, boom, hit, sweep it out, boom, boom, and 1 more, up, down, hit, sweep, bump, bump, and then 9 times rooster nods his head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Back to ready. Turn on the rear toe, bringing the spear up at the same time. All right, watch you hit the lights above you, feet together, and down. Okay, remember the other way you can finish that after your 9 times. That's 9, let's say. Boom, you come forward and just lower it. And I find that's a convenient way because I just switch my hands for the other side. Okay, let's now have a look at it from the over-the-shoulder view. Sometimes that's a little easier to follow. So I'm going to go on the track this way. So again, I'm going to start with the moving to the rear. So if I'm here, I have my kai ho fa, then in place kai ho fa, squat down, up over the head, strike to the side, sweep across, hit down, back to ready, and repeat. Boom, over the head, protect, strike, sweep, hit down, ready, and 1 more. Boom, 1, 2, hit, sweep, hit down, ready, and now rooster nods his head 9 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Back to ready. Gonna turn on that toe, bringing the spear up, and feet together. That completes the form. All right, let's take a look at it again from the other angle over the shoulder. Ready? Over here. I'm going to have my start with that movement to the rear. Kai ho fa, and then 1 in place. Kai ho fa, squat down, up over the head, strike, sweep across, hit down, ready, and repeat. Boom, up, over the head, strike, sweep, hit down, ready, and boom, 1 more, hit, sweep, hit down, ready, and now 9 times, rooster nods his head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, ready. And if you don't have the high ceiling, just go forward and lower the spear to the floor. Okay, So that concludes the form. All right, now that we've had a good look at the last section of the form, let's put it all together. Let's just go through it by the numbers to help you get it, make it your own. I'm going to start back here and just stay on camera with the spear on the floor. Remember from the earlier lessons, you want to make sure you're nice and loose, extend the arms and connect everything up. And then stepping back, wait, start with in place, kai ho fa. Kai ho fa from the rear leg. Kai ho fa, kai ho fa. And we're doing reps of 3. Then it's going to be kai ho fa from the front leg. Kai ho fa, kai ho fa. Now moving forward. Kai ho fa, kai ho fa, kai ho fa. Then in place once, kai ho fa. And now back moving to the rear. Kai ho fa, kai ho fa, kai ho fa. And now the new piece, kai ho fa, down, up, hit, sweep across, hit down, boom, ready. And again, 3 repetitions. 1, 2, hit, sweep, hit down, ready. And one more. 1, up over the head, strike, sweep, hit down, ready. And now rooster nods his head 9 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Back to ready. And slowly lower the spear to the tip. Let's take one more look at the whole form put together, going through it by the numbers. This time I'll do it so you can watch kind of over my shoulder from the side. Sometimes, again, that's easier to follow. Remember, it's reps of 3. You can add to that as your strength and endurance improves. So coming from the corner over here, I move from here over toward my other diagonal. Again, remember, arms nice and loose, opened up. Get that little extension connection. Arms and the spear should be on the same angle. Let loose, coccyx dropped. Of course, breathing's in dantian. Eyes and head up, and tway. There's your ready position. Then it's kai ho, fa from the rear leg, kai ho, fa, kai ho, fa. And then I'm going to go resting from my front leg, kai ho, fa, kai ho, fa, kai ho, fa. That's 3 times. Now I start walking forward, kai ho, fa, kai ho, fa. And one more, kai ho, fa. Just enough space. And one in place. 1, 2, 3. Now back. 1, 2, 3. Kai ho, fa, kai ho, fa. And then kai ho, fa from the front leg. Down. 3 reps over the head. Protect. Strike. Sweep. Notice the movement of my front foot. Ready. And a second one. Boom. Over the head. Strike. Sweep. Hit down. Ready. One more time. Boom. Over the head. Hit. Sweep. Hit down. Ready. Now the 9 times. Rooster nods his head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ready. And slowly lower that tip to the floor. With this lesson, we've now completed this Yangjia, Michuan, Taiji spear form. Take what you've learned in lessons 1, 2, and 3 and put it all together into the complete form. Don't forget, as we've discussed in the past, you can take individual sections of the form and practice them as sort of mini forms. Each one of these little pieces has different movements, develops different kinds of fudging, and strengthens the body in different ways. So I found it really quite useful for my practice for developing the strength and stamina and those different techniques. I hope you'll make it part of your program and it really serves you as well as it has me. Until next time, everybody, stay strong. 再见.